I don't know how precise your expectations, your ideas are about what we are doing. On the timetable you got, we are doing learning skills as a seminar. There's a little bit of kind of problem or confusion that originally the idea was I'm doing introduction to economics, somebody else does learning skills, and somebody else does the seminars, and I'm only doing the lectures. And then I said I would like to do learning skills as well, and I would like to do the seminars, simply because they belong together. And at some stage you will have to figure out how they go together. There is work from the so-called learning skills stuff you have to figure out yourself. I won't go into details on all this stuff when it comes to referencing and things like this. So just ignore the timetable in terms of what is written down there as introduction to economics and learning skills. This will be kind of going together, being merged. Unfortunately, it's a seminar at the beginning because I have to tell you something in the beginning. The one thing is that I'm sorry that I couldn't make it yesterday. There was something yesterday evening. I heard just before I left, actually. I wanted to meet somebody, and they told me half an hour before I left I should come. I couldn't do that, couldn't reschedule this anymore. Another thing, simply kind of information, or I have to tell you, or we have to agree upon, or find out. You are all not native English speakers, I assume. Meaning you are struggling hard with studying in a different language, which is not your native language. I have the same problem. I'm not native English speaker, which means we have the same condition. At least we know each other, or everybody knows that it is difficult to speak in another language, in a foreign language. Now I have a little bit of an advantage because I do it a couple of years already, but I am aware of the fact that it is difficult for you. I cannot help you much there. The only thing I can do is encourage you to ask. It's not only about language in the strict sense. It's not only about language in terms of different accents. There's this famous saying, the British and the American are divided by having one common language, because they have the same language, but at the same time it's used in a different way. The pronunciation is a different way. So it's not only about this, but it is as well about different understanding or different use of terms. I know that the translation of terms from Chinese to English, from English to Chinese, is hugely difficult in many cases. I have a couple of things that they have been translated into Chinese, and there is a bracket than the original English term being used, because there is no strict equivalent in the different languages. There's an additional difficulty when it comes to not using everyday's language, but the language of the subject area, meaning economics. that the terms are used in different ways. If we use in everyday's language gain or shop, this is not the same as it is in economics. It's even, I think you are doing accounting, you would find differences between the use in economics and in accounting. So be aware of it. Ask if you are not sure what is meant. We may be able to clarify it immediately in class. It may take some time, it may be a very specific issue. You can come more or less always to room 402. That's where I'm sitting. I say you can come more or less anytime you want, between 7 and 10, 7 in the morning and 10 at night. But at the same time, I'm not always there. I may be in class. I may be enjoying myself somewhere. So it may be better just to contact me before and arrange the time to meet. That's the email address. And only use this email address. There are some other email addresses. I have another email address. I have other email addresses. Use only this email address. HERRMANN@esosc.eu. You can send me messages via QQ if you have the number, via WeChat. You can ring me. If it's course related, I will ignore it. For course related issues, it's only this. Okay? Anything else is ignored. The other way around, you have all a Bangor email address. If you write to me, and if you want me to read it on course-related issues, use your Bangor email address. If you write from your qq.com or 163.com, is it, or I don't know what, you can write, but not course-related issues. I'll simply ignore it. There's a very simple reason for it. Sometimes everything has to be put into a box. First, on communication. Everybody, individually, has to access Blackboard. You all have Blackboard access. You have it individually. You have your own password. And this is the way how you log in. I keep it simple. There's only one site. That's Introduction into Economics. I don't know exactly the title. Ignore the learning skills. Everything will go onto this one site. And there will be only few subsites, folders, to keep things simple. That you don't have to jump from here to there and get lost on the way. I try to keep it as simple as and straightforward as possible. I use it as well to make announcements to you as group. Well, actually not as group, but to the entire four classes. So all economics students, year 2, will get these announcements. Don't use for your own sake, subgroups in QQ or whatever to share course-related documents. Meaning, if I upload something on Blackboard, it's there, accessed there. I know there is this kind of habit or whatsoever. Somebody gets it, puts it on the QQ list, and the others access it there. Just forget it. Otherwise, things will be messed up in different reasons, and we will get, at some stage, into trouble. And I just want to avoid any kind of trouble as far as possible, for your sake. And one reason is that I don't want to make things more complicated than they are. And if you use another list, and if you use different email addresses, they are more complicated, meaning we lose flexibility in other ways. So any other things, I'm very open to discuss things. I have to move forward in a specific pace, meaning there is something, you know it better than I do. Economics, Introduction to Economics is a course from BCC. BCC means we are working together with Bangor University. And I have to do what they ask me to do. There is some communication, there is this and that, but I cannot say, okay, we do it completely different. And I cannot say, but sorry, they are not native English speakers, we will have half of the speed. There is something, it's required, and you can manage. It's work, but you can manage, it's no problem. You'll get used, after a while, you get used to the English, in general, to my pronunciation. You will find your own way of learning, of studying, of asking. You won't know it immediately, but by the time. Give it time. Don't expect that you understand everything first instance. And be honest to yourself, which is sometimes very difficult. Not because we don't want to be honest to ourselves, but we don't see the difficulties, really. When I moved to Ireland, as I said, I'm not native English speaker. I thought it's fine, my English is good enough, I can manage. I prepare myself, I was lecturing there as well, I had my scripts, I'm kind of reading. And when I left after about 20 years, somebody said, you know, when you arrived here, I felt so sorry for you. Your English was just horrible. And I didn't see it. I thought it's fine. I honestly thought it's fine. And I managed. Be honest to yourself and say, sorry, I don't understand it. And we will try to find a way. If you don't ask, if you don't let me know or us know where your problems are, we cannot engage in it, we cannot help you. Don't leave it to the last minute, meaning the last week or whatsoever before the exams. Exams is one thing, and there is always, or there is in this system, some need for assessment. You have the two courses, Learning Skills and Introduction to Economics. I'm doing it. There are seminars and there are lectures. For your own sake, come to both. There is a list, it will be controlled. I have to sign it. I sign anything. I don't mind. If you are not sitting here, if you are not listening, I don't mind. But you will find out at the end that you missed something. It's simply up to you to find your own way. I'm not here to control you. Did you attend every time? Did you take your notes, whatsoever? It's up to you. And it's up to you means as well, you have to find your own way. You have to find your own way of engaging, of asking questions, of participating, of interrupting. Learning skills, you will have to write an essay. I will give you, I'm not sure, I may have it here somewhere, I will give you some broad topics, some areas. And you have to find out how to specify the question. And we will talk about what are questions actually in academia, in scientific work. And you have to formulate the question in a way that it is answerable, that it is a meaningful question with a meaningful answer. And we will come to all these things later, what is meaningful. Because sometimes things are formally a question, and there is a formal answer, but it doesn't make any sense. We work out in detail how it works. Is there any preference? Would you prefer to write an individual essay or group essay? Individual? Individual? Group? Individual. Group? Okay. I have to find out, I have to figure out with the others. The exact procedure will be, we will follow it up. Introduction to economics, you will have class tests, meaning it should be possible to do it on Blackboard. I put the test on Blackboard. It's you have to fill in or you have to complete it there, and it's going to some magic system. And then you have to sit a 2-hour exam at the end of the semester. When I talk about these things, and when I talk about learning and teaching and academic work, I'm always a little bit in a difficult situation. I'm always kind of torn between two sides. On the one hand, if you go out doing any job, 80% of the jobs are structured, are patterned in a way that you immediately cooperate with others. You are part of a team, or you are part of a much larger team, the worldwide people speaking Chinese, English, and whichever language you may still learn. And you just can go on the internet and take the book and read and check. Usually you are not sitting on your own and have to answer the question immediately. At the same time, there are these 20%. I don't know if it's 80 to 20, it doesn't matter. If it's only 1%, it's enough. Can you answer me now? ... And you have to answer. And I promise you, you will come into the situation as well later in a job, in reality. Can I cross the street, or should I wait that the car passes? It's your decision, and you have to decide. And you have to decide it on the spot. And sometimes it's a very urgent question. So the test, the exam will be just, you have to do it on your own. There is no help, there is no computer, there is no nothing. And you have to find the answer. So find your own way as well, doing these online tests. I cannot check, I don't want to check. You can sit with 2 people, with 4 people, or as class in front of the computer and do it. I cannot check it, I don't want to check it, it's up to you. But at the same time, if you do it, use it not as, okay, one answers and I just copy. Try to use it really as a matter of cooperation, of engaging, of discussing. You will see there is not often only one single answer. This is correct, anything else is not correct. Or try to do it on your own. Just sit down, answer the question, and you will see, you will learn as well from your mistakes. You will see how you approach it, you will see how you develop your approach to find an answer. The elaboration of these questions for the exams and stuff, it's a relatively complicated process. So you can blame me for some part, not for everything, because it's as well in cooperation with Bangor University, and there are reviewers, peer reviewers, and somebody else checks. So it's not necessarily the best procedure, but it is a procedure where it's not just one person deciding what should be done. And we try, I think at the end everybody tries to work in a way to support you learning things. It's not, we have to fail, I don't know, 10%. We like 100% going through and passing the exams. That's the idea, that's the aim of how we work, at least how I work, and I think most of the others as well. I will work with slides. At the same time, there is always a little bit of danger working with slides. And this is what we did before, not only at the NASA. We didn't know this system of slides. We just have had a blackboard, which was a real blackboard, and a piece of chalk, which was very dusty at the end of the day. But we had been exploring things and working, elaborating things, kind of out of the head and linking to one idea that we have had before, making little detours, but coming back. The slides have one advantage. You prepare exactly what you are going to do. You can kind of read what had been done, but at the same time they are very restrictive. They don't allow you to freely develop something. So you're always caught in this cage of 4 lines and another 4 lines, and anything that is outside of these boxes is something you cannot really work with. Whenever you work, use the book, the material you want to use. There are two textbooks. Some are mentioned, or it's mentioned already in this document you have. But there are many other textbooks, or other books, or other sources of information, for information on the internet. Feel free, use whatever you want. Try to use, at least at the end, English, because English is the language we are using. You have to do the essays in English, you have to do the exams in English. Try to get away from translation. Don't think in Chinese. I know it's nearly impossible, probably for most of you. Try to think in English. Try to work in English. It's not only the words, it's not only the terms, but it's a concept. Language is a concept. Of course you can use, and there will be sometimes you use English and you need the dictionary. You have to check certain terms. But normally the terms are getting clear from the context. You don't have to know every single word. When I learned French, I didn't learn it at school. Friends asked me, did you get it? I said, yeah, every second word. I know what you said. It's enough. You don't need to know every single word. There is so much in language that is not essential, not immediately essential. But you will figure out. You will figure out by learning, by doing. And I mentioned this in having this in the head. During class, please switch it off. Vibrate alert. The world will still spin around. It doesn't stop. No danger. You will leave after class. The world is still moving around. It is distraction. Our capacity here in this brain is very limited. Supposedly computers can do multitasking. We can do it to some extent as well, but it's very limited. We cannot calculate something and write a poem at the same time. Some people supposedly can do it, I don't know. We cannot really write something in English and speak in French. Make your notes in English. Don't translate. Because, and this is a little bit a contradiction, because you are translating anyway. We call it habitual intelligence or habitual capacities, something like this, that we do many things at the same time.
Broder Ansgar?
Ja,
Det deg, ja.
ja.
Så bra, ok.
Ja, hei du.
Da fatter jeg det.
Hei du. Ja.
Ja, hva gjelder det?
Ja, det er denne her. Ja, vil du sitte?
Takk.
Ja.
Jaha.
Ja, så jeg har ikke fått gjort noen ting hele formiddag, ja.
Ok, nei, jeg beklager at det tar tid. Altså, skjønner vi holder på å legge om til et helt nytt system, og da skal alle ha hjelp på en gang. Vet du.
Ja.
Så du kommer ikke inn i den, eller?
Nei, den bare ligger der.
Ok, har du forsøkt å åpne den?
Ja, åpne den, altså hvis det hadde vært så enkelt, så hadde jeg jo ikke tilkalt helpdesk, hadde jeg vel?
Nei, det er
Nei.
sant.
Nei. Vil du ha en kopp vann?
Nei, da, det skal være fort gjort. Det
Ja.
skal vi se. Du bare gjør der. Sånn.
Ja.
Da er du i gang.
Ja, altså så langt kom jeg også.
Ok.
Ikke sant? Men så stoppet det opp, og så var jeg redd for at noe av teksten skulle forsvinne, så jeg turte ikke å gå videre.
Åja, ok. Nei, men du skjønner at inni her så ligger det kanskje flere hundre sider med lagret tekst. Så for å komme videre så tar du tak i et ark på den måten her, og så liksom blar du over på neste side sånn. Da fortsetter teksten der.
Jeg blar, altså.
Du blar, ja.
Men når jeg skal tilbake da?
Ja, da bare blar du tilbake igjen. Tar tak der, og så gjør du sånn. Der, så er du tilbake til den teksten du hadde i stad. Ikke noe
Ok, så den
forandret.
slutter der,
Ja.
og så fortsetter den der, ja. Ok, men når jeg skal avslutte for dagen, hva gjør jeg da?
Da bare slår du sammen permene
Ja?
på den måten der. Sånn. Da er den lukket, da ligger alt lagret inni der.
Altså, jeg risikerer ikke å miste noe av teksten her nå,
Nei,
altså.
alt ligger lagret inni her nå.
Ja.
Da må du i tilfelle sette fyr på hele greia. Det er kanskje lite sannsynlig. Så.
Ja, ok. Nei, men for det er noe med det at liksom, når du har holdt på med skriftruller,
Ja.
så tar det litt grann tid å konvertere til å bla i en bøk. Ja. Ja, og TV.
Det er greit.
Ja, men du, en TV før du går. Jeg må bare gå gjennom en gang til. Altså, jeg åpner sånn,
Ja, riktig.
og så, hva har du kalt det?
Blar.
Jeg blar,
Ja, bla videre.
blar frem og tilbake.
Ja. Teksten ligger der hele tiden.
Ja. Og når jeg er ferdig, så bare lukker jeg den.
Ja, riktig.
Flott.
Fint det.
Kjempefint.
Ja, flott det.
Ja, men du, vent, ikke sant? Nå er den sånn igjen, nå får jeg ikke åpnet den. Nå får jeg ikke åpnet den.
Ja, det er fra feil side.
Hva mener du?
Må åpne fra andre siden.
Så det er ikke likegyldig, det,
Nei,
altså?
må åpne fra den siden der. Sånn. Der. Der er den åpen.
Ja vel.
Har du
Ok.
lest manualen, eller?
Manualen?
Det skal følge med som manual og som brukerveiledning. Det er sikkert den der. Der, vet du.
Å ja,
Inni
den,
der
ja.
står alt sammen.
Ja, men ikke sant, der har du samme problemet. Får den ikke opp. Åpnet den.
Ok, det skulle vi kanskje ha tenkt på.
Didn't find a version with English language, but you see already with something we do every day. It's this habitual ability. We know what we do if we have something like this in our hand. We know that we open it. And we know that we turn it this way around to be able to read it. And we know in some languages it's difficult. We don't read from the left to the right. We don't read from the top to the bottom. There's a different way. We know it. And if we know the other language, we automatically do it. We don't think about it. But our head thinks about it. There's something going on in the head and tells us, just stop it. Don't try to open it. It's writing. We do it, but at the same time we have to be aware of it, that all this is kind of difficult stuff. If you have a computer, we always, there is in computer language, there's this term, never touch a running system. If something works, and it works okay, think twice if you really want to improve it. Because you may get a better software, but there are so many things changed that you lose actually time by getting used to the changes. So there are certain things we just have to think twice what we are doing, how we are doing. There's another problem if you think about this video. We tend, in life in general, to explain something by using the same. We explain how to use a book by the handbook that describes how to use the book. We find online help today telling us what to do if we have an online problem. Boxes. We put things into boxes. It's extremely difficult. And believe me, it is difficult in many cases to get out there. I don't know how you learn English, how you learn language. The one way of teaching language is, sorry for my pronunciation, I say ni hao, and then I say in English, you say how are you, or good day. There seem to be different meanings. This is the one way. I explain one language by using another language and say this in one language means this in the other. And the other way is, they open the door, they come into the room, and say, "Ni hao." And then you may have an idea, if somebody comes into the room, enters in the room, and says, "Guten Tag," "Bonjour," "Buongiorno," you get an idea, could be actually "Ni hao." You don't know, but the context suggests it. I don't use Chinese, I don't use any other language to explain one language, but you get an idea. And as more context you get, as more you get the idea. As I said, I don't know "ni hao," the exact meaning. I hear it in very different contexts. So it is not just what I had been learned, but what I had been taught. "Hello, how are you?" There is more. Because I won't say in the middle of the conversation, "How are you?" Sometimes the meaning is clear, sometimes it is actually not clear. There is not only one meaning. There are different meanings to words, to terms, and depending on the context, the meaning changes.
I bought something from you last week, and I'm very disappointed.
Oh, yeah? What's the problem?
Yeah, well, my BlackBerry is not working.
What's the matter? Run out of juice?
No, it's completely frozen.
Oh, yeah, I can see that. I'll tell you what. Let's try it on orange.
That's got a few black spots, you see.
Oh, dear, yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Was there anything I can do to get my BlackBerry working?
Well, it could be an application issue. But where do you store that BlackBerry?
Well, it's on my desktop.
Well, you could try using a mouse to drag the BlackBerry to the trash. Then after you've done that, you might want to launch the BlackBerry from the desktop.
Well, I've already tried that a few times. I mean, all it did was mess up Windows.
Well, it might be worth waiting a couple of weeks. They got the latest BlackBerries coming in then.
Well, could you give me a date?
Certainly.
Let me put that date in my diary.
Anything else I can help you with?
Yes, I've also got a problem, to be honest, with my Apple.
Oh, dear, that is an old Apple, isn't it?
Yeah.
When did you buy that?
Last week.
Last week? Oh, they brought out 2 new Apples since then. What's the problem with it?
Well, I've tried to put my dongle in it, and it won't fit.
Oh, yeah. And how big's your dongle?
Well, I don't know much about these things, but my wife's seen a few dongles in her time. And she says it's a little bit on the small side.
Well, I'm afraid there's not a lot I can do about that. Tell you what, let me try booting it. No, it's crashed. Anything else I can help you with?
Well, funnily enough, yes, my grandson's birthday soon, you see. Now, he's already got an Apple and a BlackBerry. I mean, have you got anything else that you might just like?
Well, we're doing a special offer on these. I mean, I can't make head or tail of them, but the kids seem to like them.
Oh, yeah.
Xbox. 360.
So you see, we use language in context. We know what we are talking about. And sometimes we use this kind of confusion. I once heard the most difficult thing if you develop a new car, company develops a new car, one of the most difficult things is to find a name for it. A name that is in all the countries where they want to sell it something positive. I heard it from the Polo, and in some languages, some cultures, Polo stands actually for something very slow and ugly. You don't want to sell a car with the name, this is slow and ugly. So you have to find a way, a name that is attractive for everyone. You talk about blackberries, and you know, in one occasion it means, I don't know actually what, PDA, mini computer, a smartphone, and in another it means a fruit. We always think in contexts. And sometimes the challenge of academic work, of studying, learning, is just finding a balance between learning the rules that fit into the boxes and at the same time knowing there is something outside, and we have sometimes to cross the border. We have to know what is outside, what is going on here. Simple things, language. We don't think about it. If you think back 15 years, if you think about certain terms, and if you think about how are they used today, or the other way around you would do it, you think about one term today, and you think about what did it mean 15 years ago. In many cases, you find there is a different meaning to it. The meaning, what it says, what a single term says, is different. Language changes, formulas, equations in economics change. Law, you will have law. Everything is changing. And you cannot fit it into the box. You have to go beyond this. This is, in a way, the difficulty, the challenge of learning, really. Of finding your own way, dealing with a permanently changing situation. And you have to learn certain rules, and you have to know from where these rules come and what actually the meaning of these rules is. This is a little bit linked to what I said before. You have to find your own way. Can anybody read this? Loud? What is this? Loud. Everybody wants to hear it. It's an equation. It's equation 1 plus 1 equals 2. Yes or no? Yes. Just be brave. We'll come back to this later.